Hello. Thank you for joining Fujitsu Activate Now 2021. My name is Shinichi Nishimoto. I'll be your moderator today. Our topics for this session are: what does the future look like for the consumer experience? I'll focus on consumer experience, which is one of the focus areas for Fujitsu's recently announced Fujitsu Uvance business brand. First, we will cover the latest trends in consumption and the value Fujitsu provides. Then we will take a deep dive into Fujitsu's latest technologies in this area. Let's start with Hirohisa Yamaguchi, head of the Finance and Retail Solution Business Group at Fujitsu, who will outline our view of consumer needs for future consumption, describe what companies must publish about those needs, and highlight the value Fujitsu provides. Hello, and thank you for watching this Fujitsu Activate Now 2021 Consumer Experience session. My name is Hirohisa Yamaguchi, and I am head of the Finance and Retail Solution Business Group at Fujitsu. Today, we will cover Fujitsu's view of consumer behavior in 2030 and the value that Fujitsu is striving to provide in the future. 2030 is the year when the oldest members of the millennial generation will turn 50. It's also a year that will see growing numbers of Gen Z, the next generation, entering their 30s. At a time when millennials and Gen Z dominate purchasing demographics, we anticipate some things to change. First, methods of consumption. We expect a radical shift in conventional values of buying and owning products. Instead, intangibles will make up the majority of consumption. People's values will also become increasingly diverse. The result of this shift is that there will be less demand for today's status brands, and a rising awareness of consumption of tangible and intangible items in line with consumers' own values. What's more, rising awareness of social contribution, with the SDGs as a background factor, will greatly increase the desire for ethical consumption. Increasing concern for social issues is particularly important. Both millennials and Gen Z are both very tuned in to the protection of the global environment, the circular economy needed to achieve this, and to the ethical behavior of companies. Decarbonization, reduction of food waste losses, and corporate initiatives that contribute to solving social problems, such as providing a stimulus for local communities, as well as accountability, will become extremely important. This means consumer desire to buy goods and services from companies engaging in ethical behavior is certain to rise. Therefore, companies must take action on social issues, as this has the potential to exceed the conventional scope of corporate social responsibility, to become a driver for corporate competitiveness. To adapt to these changes in consumer values and address the rising concern for social issues, retailers must constantly race to keep up. What kind of information do we need to do this? I will explain further on the next slide. Here are our ideas on the 4 retail-centered themes which companies should tackle and the required innovation. The first keyword is data-driven. This refers to using diverse data to make high-precision decisions, both automatically and semi-automatically, to swiftly optimize supply and demand in real or near real time. Next is digital twin. This refers to a seamless shopping experience linking the real world and online through the implementation of a service platform. Personal recommendations make recommendations to match personal taste, and preference implementation of databasing and AI, etc. Carbon-neutral decarbonization and origin information through a system for linking the production environment and shipping status to ensure correct procurement. Community contribution implementation of a platform to decipher local characteristics, implement services tailored to the community, and share and exchange value with that community. Finally, let's take a look at how the full use of IT can automate employees' work and shift them to added value operations, leading to the development of new abilities. Fujitsu has identified 4 areas as priority themes. These are smart retail, smart supply chain, smart enterprise, and smart platform. The next slide gives specific details about each theme. Fujitsu Consumer Experience serves companies with the ambition of taking new actions to support consumers in their consumption behavior by developing and delivering solutions globally in these 4 areas. Smart retail enables businesses to give consumers the ultimate customer experience, opening up points of contact with them in a world that blurs the lines between online and offline. Smart supply chain enables businesses to achieve supply chain reform in order to become sustainable, safe, and trusted. And smart enterprise enables companies to modernize their back office for data-driven management on an integrated management platform with the theme, From Dedicated System to Standardized System. Smart platform enables companies to aggregate consumers' values and provide value to companies and to society using this information. Fujitsu Technology supports the solutions we offer in these 4 areas. Daiki Masumoto of Fujitsu Research will introduce the technologies which support smart retailing. Please take it from here, Mr. Masumoto. Hello, my name is Daiki Masumoto, and I work as a fellow at Fujitsu Research. I'm going to give you an insight into 2 technologies which support smart retail. The first is GreenAge's citywide surveillance behavior analysis. It's an AI technology which recognizes various human behavior from video. In the past, one problem with AI was the time required to prepare learning data. Our new neural network has already learned to recognize 100 types of basic human actions such as walking, sitting, and lying down. Therefore, data preparation is no longer required. The precision of this recognition of basic actions is the highest in the world. Another problem was the difficulty of customization after deploying AI. We tackled that issue by developing complex behavior interpretation technology. This defines complex behaviors as a combination of basic actions. For example, we developed a rule so that a certain sequence of the basic actions of walking, standing, and looking around are recognized as suspicious behavior. This rule can detect when someone is looking at the screen while another person is at the ATM. The video shows an example of how we detect when someone is peeping. We can also identify purchase behavior as seen in this video. This consumer enters a store, looks, touches. She's touching the products here, going around looking at various things, touching them, and trying things. The shop workers are informed of that, and they come out from the back of the shop to serve the customer. In this way, even if the number of workers is limited, customers can be provided with attentive service. As for this technology, we are now working with Aeon Retail to digitize customer behavior to understand customer intentions, with the aim of supporting proper customer service. We plan to steadily expand AI systems to achieve smart shopping experiences. The second technology is multi-biometric authentication technology. The technology used up until now could only handle one type of biometric data, such as the palm vein or face, to identify people, and it had the issue of only being usable for 20 or 30,000 people. People were sometimes mistaken for other people if 1 million people are registered. We responded by developing a system combining the palm veins and the face. This can uniquely identify 1 million people or more. As illustrated here, first of all, faces are imaged unobtrusively without the person being aware. When they show their hand, even without touching anything, they can be identified accurately. Another problem was that wearing a mask has reduced the accuracy of identification. By contrast, our system can identify people with high precision, even if they are wearing masks. We've developed technology at the world's highest level. Take a look at this system in use. As you can see, even without removing their mask, the shopper is identified when they enter the shop. The consumer doesn't need to be aware of the facial imaging. They just need to show their hand, which makes it very easy to use. It's touchless and hygienic. We're working with Lawson on this technology to provide a seamless shopping experience, so shoppers can enter the shop empty-handed and just pick up the products they need. Using digital technology to tackle the labor shortage, we aim to roll out new shopping experiences without cash registers. That's the end of my technology presentation. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. This briefing only covered one example of Fujitsu technology. Our goal is to use these technologies to support companies with innovation as consumption changes. As we've seen here, for Fujitsu, the future isn't something to merely predict. Instead, we aim to use our own technologies to realize that future and create it together with our customers. Fujitsu's consumer experience starts today. We pledge to work together with everyone watching this to create our future. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, Mr. Yamaguchi and Mr. Masumoto. This presentation should have addressed the questions around what companies should be aware of, both now as these major changes to consumer demographics arrive and in the future. What kinds of value Fujitsu can deliver? And what kinds of technology will support Fujitsu in delivering that value? I hope we have given all of you a clear picture of that. In the next session, I'll be posing some questions about the value Fujitsu provides. Thank you for your presentation. I appreciate your attention. Let's look at some questions. The presentation earlier outlined how consumer thinking about consumption will change, how companies will need to respond, and highlighted the Fujitsu technologies which will make it happen. Could you tell me more about how these technologies support consumers and companies in their activities? I'll explain for that question, referencing the example of smart retail. Mr. Masumoto presented on our technology for visualizing consumer behavior, as well as our solutions. Of course, these technologies can deliver value individually, but I think the value of these technologies and solutions will expand a great deal in the context of data-driven management and operations. In addition to behavior visualization information in stores, there will be value in accumulating data on what was actually purchased, what was not purchased, and what remains on the shelves. This will support retailers' core operations from marketing through to demand forecasting and order placement. I see. That could significantly improve the efficiency of companies' operations. That's right. Operational efficiency will certainly be improved. And if we look further into this example, these kinds of data-driven operations will also enable staff to shift to work with higher added value, which can only be done by people, as well as focusing on customer service. In addition, the analysis of diverse information allows more advanced and nuanced demand forecasting, reducing waste losses. That's a key factor which links directly to solutions for reducing waste losses and other social problems. That makes sense. So, when companies can achieve that, could you briefly explain how purchasing experiences will change from how they are today? Well, from the perspective of consumers and the public, the first thing is that there will be no distinction between online and offline. So I think people will benefit from getting what they want, when, where, and how they want it, in a personalized customer experience. We see that as being realized as a further advanced form of the current merger between online and offline. However, doing this indiscriminately would impact the construction of a recycle, reduce, and reuse-oriented society. I think we will be able to create a society in which consumption is optimized in harmony with society, as ethical consumption is promoted and creates a new value chain. Thank you, Mr. Yamaguchi. I hope this short presentation has succeeded in giving you all an idea of Fujitsu's consumer experience. Please do share your impressions and questions with us on the feedback form. And continue to enjoy Fujitsu Activate Now 2021. Thank you for watching.